All right, welcome to Kbands Live 128. We're going to be doing a bunch of ab exercises today. It's going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes. If you're going to be doing any other muscle groups, you can add that afterwards with one of the other workouts. But here we're going to be using the fusion cables. We got a high and a low mount. I'm using the level 4 and level 3. It's a good weight for me to get warmed up. You're going to stand in a wide stance, hands out in front, and you're going to keep them generally pretty straight, maybe a slight bend to the elbow, but we're going to work for rotations, 10 to 15 reps back and forth. Try not to have any rest because it's just going to be a warm-up, good fast pace, turning at the trunk, thinking about your obliques. You know, sometimes people lean out, reaching with their hands. You almost want to feel as though there's a rod down through your spine and you're trying to rotate around it. This is going to get us great oblique activation, which is off to your sides, and it's also going to get our front side stimulated just a bit. Keep a good wide base. If you get too tall, too skinny with the legs, we're not going to be able to rotate and keep it in our obliques. Keep your pace high, follow along. As always, here at Kbands, we're going to be muting the sound here for you to turn up some music and enjoy the workout. I'll chime in with the next exercise breakdown, and we'll get it moving. All right, let's get the next exercise set up. We're going to be doing a cross punch facing your wall. So 2 high level mounts. It should be the upper level at which you can rotate with, and you're going to be rotating at the hips. This is a big time cardio move, but we're still focusing on the obliques and getting the abs turned on. So if you hunker over just a little bit, drop your chest, you're going to feel your abs turn on. Then as you rotate, you're trying to keep your arms a little bit straight, turn it over for a slight chest activation, but generally you're going to reach down and put it in your pocket. It's a little bit more pace and you're going to get consistent burn. With 20 to 25 second sets, after a while you're going to get moving and you're going to start feeling what I'm talking about. The more you twist and the more you put your hand in the pocket, the more you're going to feel your obliques turned on. Slight amount of rest in between, but overall keep the pace pretty high, because this is just going to get our heart rate up and going to help us turn on those oblique muscles. Another thing that you want to think about is if your focus is abdominal training and you're looking at building a six-pack or any type of muscle definition, bring in, get smaller size jeans, anything like that. I think a lot of people get a little bit off track when they think about how that actually is accomplished. Working out will definitely slim down your waistline, will definitely help shape and sculpt your body. But if you don't remove the body fat, you're never going to see your abs. So the key is to start eating smaller. I always like to tell people, if you stick your hands out in front of you, 2 hands together, I use it and I call it the hand test. If you're eating more than that in any one sitting, generally you're overeating. You can eat ounces, 4 to 5 ounces of meat, fill the other hand up with a meat or a vegetable or fruit, I should say. And you've really got to try to stick to that. The more that you can stick to that, on average, are you eating that type of food? If on average you're eating a meat, a vegetable, or a fruit, then you're going to be just fine. There's a whole lot of stuff out there that's very misleading, trying to sell supplements, trying to give you a whole bunch of information that's unnecessary. A lot of times guys are looking at people that are very, very big and they take steroids. That's why they look like that. Am I saying everybody takes steroids? Of course not. But a lot of times the people in the magazines and the things that they're trying to tell you works to build those types of muscles are only built because they take steroids. So keep in mind that healthy nutrition, get on a consistent workout plan, and do some abdominal training, but don't kill yourself. You don't have to do these things every single day. You can spend some time working your abs, strengthening the muscles. You can feel the muscles just like you can feel your arms. Do you have definition? Do you feel the grooves? If you don't feel them, you need to shed some body fat. That's the key. All right, I'll get off my soapbox and let you continue to work out. and be back soon. Here we're going to be putting on the lower level fusion cable that you had on there earlier again, and we're going to be doing a resistive roll up. I'm a big fan of this exercise because you really can't get as much burn if you're at that medium level range. There's a lot of advanced level exercises where you can get some superior burn to the abs, but this exercise anybody can generally do. You just have to alter your resistance level. With the fusion cables, makes it pretty easy to be able to stack the bands and get the results you're going for. But generally you want to slide out from the wall to where you get the bands stretched. Put your hands on both sides of the handle. To be honest, I probably would have put 2 handles on here if I'd go back and do it again, just so I could easily hold it. As you notice, my hands are kind of moving around. It's not the most comfortable situation that I worked out there, but generally, either way, put on 2 handles and you're going to be just fine. But what you're doing here is you're kind of roll up and put your hands around your legs. Don't just roll your knees to your chest. Notice my butt comes off the ground. A big part of abdominal training is understanding that your hips are a big portion of how to really get some muscle definition and make it the load heavier. Crunches are not going to get you anywhere once you get past a certain point, so these types of exercises are the next progression from that. So pull the hands over the knees, roll the hips up, and you can even hold it for just a slight second. You'll feel those abs turn on, and then when you decelerate and you lengthen your legs out, you're going to feel that activation. The longer you keep your hips off the ground on the way out, the more results you're going to get. Next exercise, I'm going to be grabbing the victory ropes. This is just one of them, and I'm going to be pulling it back and getting some activation for a cross pull. You can also use the fusion cables if you don't quite have this much room. I just like pulling the victory rope out from the squat rack and utilize it like that. Throw your hand through the loop. You don't really want to hold the loop. It gets a little uncomfortable after a while, but if you put your wrist through it, hold the rubber end, it makes a real comfy grip whether you're using the fusion cables or the victory ropes. You're going to be planking here. Standing in a good flat position. Try to keep your butt down. If you're a little bit weaker, you'll notice your butt and your back slightly climbs. But if you try to get flat in between every repetition, pull the knee in, knee to elbow, and then flatten out, you're going to find it's a lot easier to maintain that lower position rather than slowly climbing up with your back. Get about 8 to 12 repetitions per arm, right side, left side, take a slight break in between, but generally just keep the pace, but you want to pull that band out to where it's good and sturdy. Ideally, you should be flexing to pull in the arm, and you should be driving the knee, and as soon as you pick up that foot, you're going to notice the stability factor come in. Great exercise to put you over the top. All right, moving on to the finisher exercise here. You're going to be laying on the ground, and we're going to get just a little bit of activation to finish it up. This should be a high pace rep range. We're going to be driving the feet up. The key is not to let your legs lower down. So what I mean is don't use the rhythm. You want to fight against the rhythm. Notice that little tendency of my feet to drop a little bit. In the ideal world, you want to try to just go straight vertical. I think I start doing it a little bit better here towards the end. But the more you can lose that rock, the better results you're going to get. The hips play a major role in burning up your abs. So really work on trying to get your hips off the ground. Finish it up here with some straight leg lifts. And we're going to combine the reach to the ceiling and then the leg lift. Follow along, keep your pace. Rest periods are going to be short. Push yourself. Remember, if you want some more workouts and you're looking at working your chest tomorrow or your back tomorrow, get onto the Kbands live fitness feed, and I've got all kinds of workouts. I'm planning on putting these up each and every week so that people can follow along and you can use the workouts. Don't forget, throw on some music during the silent portions. Have some fun. That's what I'm doing when I'm watching the videos. That's why I'm not talking. Turn on some music and enjoy the workout.